Hi, I'm Jen Holz, Associate State Director for Outreach at AARP Maryland. As an extension of our series over the last year to support parents and caregivers of children during the pandemic, we are continuing through the summer to provide great ideas to simply keep your kids happy and thriving during the summer months. AARP works hard to support caregivers of all types. So please continue to join us every other Wednesday for our Summer Lunch and Learn series. You can view past interviews on our Facebook and YouTube pages as well. Today, we are joined by our fantastic partners in Baltimore, our very own Baltimore City AARP Foundation Experience Corps program. AARP Experience Corps is housed within the AARP Foundation and places older adult mentors in Baltimore City schools, grades K through third. They help increase literacy and attendance rates. Research has shown that the benefit to both the children and the adult mentors is tremendous. Tiffany Sanford is the volunteer recruitment specialist for Experience Corps in Baltimore, and she's here with us today to discuss a little bit about what Experience Corps does and some great opportunities for folks to get involved. So, Tiffany, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for welcoming me. I love to talk about Experience Corps. It's a wonderful program I've been a part of for 14 years, and we've been partnering with Baltimore City Schools for 21 years. So I'm looking forward to some exciting growth this year.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about what Experience Corps does?
Experience Corps take the best of both worlds. We take older adults and young kids and put them together in an intergenerational learning process. We are training our volunteers to tutor students in the grades that you mentioned before, K through third grade. Traditionally, this year we're going to be going to fourth grade because we know because of the pandemic that there's been more of a slide in learning, uh,
Mhm.
keeping that information fresh. So we're going to fourth grade this year, and we are doing virtual this year. So our volunteers have been learning. They've been grasping the technology and taking it forward to help young students from their homes.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And I know Experience Corps has some great methods for keeping kids interested and engaged with reading. Can you offer some pointers that you've learned as a colleague at Experience Corps that parents and grandparents and all caregivers really can use to encourage their kids to keep reading through the summer months?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is modeling. We always model for our kids. Whatever we do, you model for the people around you. So if you pick up a book and they see you reading, they're going to become interested in doing just that. You explain to them that reading takes you to different places, different worlds, and without reading, it's difficult to get through this culture. It's difficult to get through the world without having great reading skills and fluency skills. So I would suggest modeling that behavior by reading in front of them, engaging them and reading as well. Share with them what you're reading. If it's something from the newspaper, if it's something from a magazine, show them that words have power and that there's meaning behind every one of them. And so being able to understand it is fluency in reading and
Absolutely.
comprehension. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. That's really helpful. So, talk to us about how folks in the community can get involved with Experience Corps, even though much of AARP's work is going to remain virtual for the time being.
Yes.
What are you guys doing to keep volunteers engaged in a virtual sense?
Well, virtually, we have book clubs for our volunteers. We will be having Spanish and French classes again. We're doing some smaller events online with our current volunteers. Actually inviting new volunteers to come into our summertime information session so they can get to learn who we are, what we're about, understand a day in the life of a current volunteer, and build some skills of their own. They can take some online trainings with us this summer to prepare for the upcoming school year to get ready to get going
Hmm.
with the new students.
That's great. That's great. And is the opportunity limited to just those who live in Baltimore?
Absolutely not. We have volunteers from around, all around Maryland, not outside of Maryland yet. We're hopeful, but volunteers come from Harford County, Anne Arundel County, the surrounding counties. The difference is to volunteer with us, you will have to pass a Baltimore City Public School headquarters background check.
Sure.
We pay for that check, so it's not at a cost to the volunteer, but they do have to get to that office. I'll give them a certified letter to say that we pay for it. They walk in, get fingerprinted, and they will never have to do it again as
Hmm.
long as they're in our program. Whether we have volunteers who serve a year. We have some volunteers that serve right now. Our longest serving volunteers, she's been here with us for 15 years
Wow.
helping kids, but she's only had to go through that background check one time. Okay, so
Hmm.
that's to give you an idea. They rerun it, but that's the that's how to get into this program. Meet with me,
That's
come to an
great.
information session.
That is wonderful. It's so wonderful that you've been able to keep it going even through the pandemic and engage folks. We do have a comment online from Eleanor. She said, "Wow, what an amazing program." And I have to agree. It really, truly is. So, Tiffany, if folks want to learn more about how to get involved or if they have general questions about Experience Corps, how can they get in touch?
They can give me a call if they like to. I'm at 443-961-1720, or we can be found at www.aarpfoundation.org/EC Baltimore. EC stands for Experience Corps, of course.
Perfect, perfect. So this is all great information. And as you know, we at AARP Maryland really appreciate the great work that you and your colleagues are doing at Baltimore Experience Corps. And you've been doing this for a long time now.
Yes.
So we can't wait to see your team in person again, but thank you and keep up the great work. Did you have any closing remarks for us?
Well, I will say, again, just going back to the modeling, here's one of our books. I'll show you one of our books that we use with students. These are so simple to go through and partner with the kid to help them. Even if you're just that neighborhood lady who would like to have kids in their porch, or if you're a grandmother who want to enhance how you spend time with your grandchildren, our training will help you do so. Our training will get you there. And again, you can help your community by serving younger people who are around you and may be able to earn a stipend and some other benefits that go along with it for participating with our program. No worries. Your background, if you've been a janitor, if you've been a teacher, if you've been a CEO, everyone is welcome in Experience Corps. We will give you the necessary training to be successful and to help Baltimore City students thrive.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Thanks again for all you do.
Thank you
So
all very much.
absolutely. So this is it for today's Lunch and Learn, folks. Please tune in every other Wednesday this summer for more interviews supporting all caregivers of children.